Hello and welcome to the third annual Venom on the Shelf, celebrating the 12 days of Christmas.
Rob? Hi. Hello.
Oh, and Adeline is here to spend Christmas with me too.
Nothing screams Christmas quite like a beefed up serial killer zombie in a hockey mask hacking away at people on a murder spree.
Happy Friday the 13th.
So to speak.
Well, the last one was supposed to be the last one, but well, get used to Hollywood giving us a great big nah.
The studio realized the third never officially said, we're making no more. So they could maybe get away with making a fourth, and making that the last one, even with the damn subtitle.
Really?
It's believed that Paramount wanted this to be the final film because they were now embarrassed to have been involved with this franchise now that the genre had declined in interest in recent years.
However, the son of the CEO of Paramount was a producer on the films, and he felt like nobody had respected his work on the last two, despite how much money they made, and wanted to move on, determined to kill off his own creation for good in this final movie.
Joseph Zito was asked to write and direct despite himself admitting that he's no writer, but he did eventually agree when offered more money, which he sneakily used to hire a different writer. Clever devil.
That's a sin.
The writers wanted to do something different with this film. In the last three, the final survivor was always a young woman, something quite common for its time. This movie does something completely different, never done before in any slasher, which we'll get onto later.
They wanted to do something extra different by creating characters that we didn't want to see harmed or killed. I know, a drastic change in their style.
However, the film was low budget, and therefore, many actors were required to perform their own dangerous or uncomfortable stunts. Judy Aronson had to remain submerged in a highly freezing cold lake, later developing hypothermia, and Peter Barton was genuinely slammed against the wall by Jason.
Ted White played Jason himself, and he admitted that he hated working on this film because of the treatment by the director. He always requested they have crash pads and threatened to quit entirely when Zito refused to take Aronson out of the cold lake between takes. Ted White even demanded his name to be removed from the credits. He hated it that much.
Corey Feldman notoriously had a bratty, snobby attitude on set, but Corey claims this was simply caused by the director's poor treatment of his cast. When he fights Jason, he's pretending it's the director.
Like usual, the film was poorly received by critics, finding it gross out, gory nonsense, while fans loved it. Some believing this to be the best one of the series, earning $11.1 million in its opening weekend alone. Well, it wouldn't be a Friday the 13th movie if we didn't get a flashback to the previous films.
Hey, at least this is an actual recap, just showing the vital points of the story to catch us all up, unlike the last ones. Hey, they finally learned!
But it lasts for 3 goddamn minutes!
But I'm gonna give it to you straight about Jason. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned.
So how did they know he drowned?
What's wrong with him?
Straight away, you can see that their budget has increased from the previous films. The quality is much better. It's like some epic crime movie, but it's awesome.
Okay, so this is a direct sequel to part 3. As in, it takes place immediately after. Like, the next day. And remember, part 3 took place just a day after part 2. So this takes place on Sunday the 15th. 3 of these movies consecutively take place back to back over the course of a weekend. I'm sure this won't result in numerous plot holes.
Oh, I can fix that.
They even go back to the original location of part 3 to shoot this opening, which is really well done. It has some great tension right off the bat, and I really love it.
Also, is Jason dead at this point? I mean, does he come back later? Or is he just knocked out and then wakes up later? Because isn't he a zombie who shouldn't feel pain and therefore shouldn't be able to get knocked out? Or are they still trying to make him human despite surviving things that no human could ever survive? Or is he just pretending to be dead? Because that's even dumber. Why would he wait?
Amazing.
But then we're immediately introduced to a creepy pervert. Jeez, we go from Cult of Chucky to this? Are there any normal people in these facilities?
Yeah, not only does he leave his food on a dead body, but he even says,
Real cute girl. Was. Well, she still is. All you gotta do is go over there, take off your pants. Nice talk.
Really?
This guy is called Axel, but I swear, 1 minute with him and you're begging for Jason to wake up.
I'm free, doll.
And a bargain at twice the price.
Hey, what's the matter?
I have a headache, Axel. For you, I always have a headache.
Oh, I can fix that.
Where's Jason?
And this is when Jason wakes his ass up. Again, is he human? Zombie? What? But no, we clearly see Jason moving, so we know he's conscious. But now they're just chilling in the room with him. So what, is he pretending to be dead now? Why would he do that? And do coroners and random staff members normally just hang out with a dead body in the room?
Is at this moment in the Wessex County Medical Center morgue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Officer Jameson. Let's welcome.
That's you they're talking about on TV, pal.
I don't believe you, Axel.
How dare you make jokes, you prick! Oh, and then they start porking. Right next to a corpse. Seriously? The smell of rotting flesh is the aphrodisiac.
But have a jump scare. You know how much I love those.
Jesus Christmas!
Aha! See, they mentioned Christmas. So it counts. Oh, and she blames Axel. Yeah, she's the one who agreed to go into the room, and then she's the one who makes the first move to shag near a corpse, and he's the one who gets the blame. Women. But Jason is such a cock blocker, man. What a party pooper.
Oh, no.
But then Jason finally gets his act together and gives Axel a sore neck.
Whoa! Okay, that kill is actually phenomenal, and definitely one of my favorites in the entire series. Then she gets a scalpel or something to death, which isn't as great, but it's still pretty good.
But don't you think this is kind of ripping off Halloween too? I mean, 2 hospital staff members nearly pork, the guy's a pushy asshole, the girl at first resists but then gives in, then has a go at him despite going along with it. It's the same thing!
I'd also like to point out that Ted White is easily my favorite Jason in the entire franchise. Despite being the oldest to play the character, because he was in his late 50s at the time, he's so intimidating and badass.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But weirdly, we immediately cut to outside and it's implied that Jason is out there watching people roam around. How did he get out there so fast? And we learn later that it is actually him. He broke out. How did he get out of the hospital without anybody seeing his 8-foot-tall bodybuilding hockey mask wearing machete wielding ass? Were there only 2 people working in the entire hospital?
Computer don't lie.
And that's when we're introduced to the iconic Tommy Jarvis, played by Corey Feldman. Yes, we know! You met him! No one cares!
Oh, I do not.
But Tommy is so cool in this, and completely adorable. You see, in this film, we get characters that are actually likable, and you do care about them when they die. They really did learn from their mistakes.
I can't go through with this.
But I can't wrap my mind around this. This is 2 days after part 3. It's 3 days after part 2. Why are these people acting so casual and not the least bit concerned about a crazy serial killer showing up?
Someone left the front door open.
We're in the country.
Well, what happens if the psycho wanders in?
Probably challenge him to a game of Zaxxon.
I mean, he killed loads of people in part 2 and was presumed dead. And then he came back. So the fact that he's again presumed dead shouldn't ease any of their nerves. But we meet the latest group of victims who you won't remember outside of this arsehole called Teddy and Crispin Glover called Crispin Glover, who's just had a bad breakup.
You should have treated her right.
You shouldn't have sued her for starring in Back to the Future 2 and showing a simple photograph of you. Oh, and this is his entire character's setup.
And then she wouldn't even take my calls. I mean, can you figure that? What the fuck happened? It says you're a dead fuck.
No, seriously, that's it. From this moment on, he will not shut up about it.
It says you're a dead fuck. You dead fuck. Dead fuck thing to do. Don't be such a dead fuck. Not now, dead fuck. Was I a dead fuck?
It's not even like it's clever or funny. He's just repeating the same thing over and over. You really want Crispin Glover to get the girl and Teddy to just die alone. So, in a way, I'm already far more invested than I was in the first 3. Enjoy. But why is nobody on edge knowing a crazy zombie guy has been murdering all weekend? Why is everyone so nonchalant about it? It's not like it's 15 years later, it's 48 hours later!
Who cares? This kill is awesome!
But I must admit, Tommy and his family are really charming in this. He's adorable and really likeable. His sister Trish becomes quite strong and... okay, their mum is forgettable, but I swear to God, if anyone touches that dog...
Don't say anything about me. I mean, I don't have
a reputation.
I didn't say that.
Look, I got my reputation in 6th grade.
Why are you so proud of that? Hey yeah, I sucked a dick when I was 12. Get on my level, hoes. This is where Tommy spots a woman across the way undressing. Makes a change from Michael Jackson, I suppose.
But his reactions are so adorable. He's so cute.
They're just weird, man. What the hell is he doing? I also love how his mum walks in. He feigns being asleep. She sees the naked lady, and you can tell that she knows he's been watching, and she seems to have a proud smile on her face. Ah, my son, the peeping Tom. Ha! And he's called Tommy. He's literally a peeping Tom.
Just customized it.
They actually do build the suspense here really well. Until a fake jump scare, of course.
But why exactly is she going to get the car by herself? Her boyfriend, at least I think it's her boyfriend, I don't care,
I mean, that's useless.
offered to go with her and she refused. Why? There's a serial killer on the loose. Why do none of you care? And we find out later that it's public knowledge that he's escaped. It's in the newspaper. But even if you didn't know that, there's been murders all weekend. Why are you all so normal?
And of course Tommy shows up to see the lady skinny dipping. Of course.
But he's also apparently a genius mechanic. Is this because he's a male? Is that it? His sister just gets him to do it? Because that's sexist. He's a mask designer, a car mechanic, and a pervert, all at the age of 12.
They do build a lot of suspense here. Samantha tries to entice her friend to come into the water, but she refuses. So she says she'll go under until she comes in. She then disappears, leading to her freaking out. You'd think Samantha has been dragged under, but nope, it's another fake out, but it actually does work, so well done.
Why do people in these films constantly believe psychologically destroying and traumatizing their friends is funny?
Rob Dyer.
Oh, and it's another character in horror movies that just randomly sneaks up on people in the woods for absolutely no reason.
This guy is called Rob,
Cool name.
played by Eric Anderson. He actually does have quite an interesting story that we'll go over later.
Although he quickly gives away that he's hunting for Jason. Hey, Part 9 rips this off. But I can't stop praising Tommy, which Feldman brings to life perfectly. He gets so excited to meet Rob that he just can't wait to take him home and show him all of his work. It's so weird having a Jason movie where I actually care about one of the characters.
Until we get the greatest scene in movie history. Easily the best part of this film, or any other of the series. Just look at those dance moves.
Can you believe Crispin Glover came up with this himself based on how he dances in real life?
Want to give Teddy Bear a kiss?
Would that ever work? You know what? I'm kind of even invested in Crispin Glover's character. He just got out of a relationship and is quite socially awkward with self-esteem issues and insecurities. But then Paul, I think he's called Paul, I don't care,
God, I'm horny.
ditches his girl for someone else. Yeah, I really only want Crispin Glover to survive in this group. Even the girl seems proud for stealing someone else's man. But can people just stop lying in random boats in the lake?
Come on, Paul. I know you're out there. Paul? Screw you, Paul.
Didn't we have this exact same scene 20 seconds ago?
Paul? I know you're out there, Polly. Screw you, Polly.
It's the exact same! Oh, there you are, thank God.
And Ted may be funny, but he is such a douchebag. I mean, earlier he forced kissed Tina, and now he tries to get with her twin but gets rejected. Good!
For the record, he may be a douchebag, but Teddy is a very entertaining douchebag, and the actor does a great job.
And it's not supposed to be, but this just looks and sounds hilarious.
But Paul tries to sneak up on her in the boat. 1, why would he ever believe he could do this quietly? 2, why would Jason just leave her body there? He doesn't normally, would have normally spread her across the trees in some fancy display by now. 3, how the hell did he even spot that she was on the boat from the land anyway? There's no lights! There is no way! Oh! That's gotta hurt!
Ugh.
Also, how is Jason not sporting any of the injuries from the past 2 films? He had hand and leg lacerations. And that was like the previous day.
But why would you go back after you clearly saw Jason head towards your tent?
But he apparently just leaves his weapons in people's tents now randomly. What the hell's he playing at?
But that's even worse. Rob now has no weapons. So he should be done for here. Right?
It is pretty cool to see Crispin actually get the girl, but you should have listened to Jamie Kennedy and Scream. Just never have sex in a horror film, bro. And I get that they're all stoned.
The actor who played Ted actually got stoned for real during the scene, which is just hilarious to me.
Yeah, although the director admitted that he suddenly became unruly and difficult to control.
Kinda like his character.
Yep.
But only for a minute.
But why the hell are they all laughing so much? It's this weird projector film, but nothing remotely funny is happening, and they're acting like they're watching an episode of South Park or something. And they can't even be that stoned if they were able to set up the damn projector.
You slut!
She's calling her sister a slut for refusing to leave because instead she wants to let Crispin glove her. But you were both trying to seduce random guys you have only just met. You're both single, it's not slutty. Oh well, one twin dies.
Ouch! That's the only off-screen kill that I actually think is really brutal. But how in the hell did the teenagers inside not hear Jason slam her body against the wall seconds later? I mean, that made an awful lot of noise, and they don't hear a dang thing.
I'm going upstairs.
You tired?
No. Do you mind sleeping in the bottom bunk tonight?
Why, you want to sleep in the top?
No.
I'm fairly certain that there are easier ways to say, let's hump. Also, technically, shouldn't Teddy be the only one to survive since he's the only one not getting any?
Although, it is quite upsetting to see Tommy and Trish's mother be killed, I kinda wish we saw the death. In the original ending, Trish was going to find her body in the bathtub, and if you watch that ending, it is really creepy.
What the hell are you doing here?
What the hell are you acting here? Wait, why did she just randomly go to his tent and sit there and wait anyway?
But why would he even slash the tent like that? I mean, he could have clearly saw her approaching the tent, so I don't understand any of this.
But for the greatest travesty of the film...
Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
No! He's gone! He's so young and beautiful!
Although, that death was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. There is an effective jump scare of Jason smashing through this window to grab her, but why the hell does she keep looking out of it so many times anyway?
And how the hell did Jason get up there so fast? He just offed Crispin Glover 7 seconds ago. Oh, who cares? It was awesome anyway. This is when we finally get Rob's backstory.
Well, I mean, I grew up quite a lonely child in a neighborhood with not too many friends, and...
Rob, I met in the movie, dude.
Oh, my bad.
Give me a few minutes.
And it turns out that he is actually the older brother of that really forgettable Sandra from part 2.
I won't even lie. I had to look up to see which one she actually was. Wouldn't it have been more effective if he was the brother of Alice? Or Ginny? No? Okay.
But again, this is just 2 days after his sister was murdered. So how on earth could he have found out, traveled here, and have had the time to prepare to fight Jason? There's no way!
Jason's body has disappeared from the morgue.
It was stolen.
It was not stolen. 2 people at the hospital are missing.
He took the bodies with him? The thing is, this character could have been really cool. The Tommy Jarvis before Tommy Jarvis was Tommy Jarvis. But it's set just days later. They could have simply solved this by having it take place a year or so later. This was an easy fix. No! Just kidding. Yay!
Good! The death was awesome too.
Sarah, I think I'm in heaven.
I think I'm in love.
What?
I'll meet you in the bottom bunk.
Okay, she is adorable. And I am somehow now invested in this relationship that they have spent no time developing upon. These characters have had no chemistry, no development, no structure whatsoever before or after this, and somehow I'm now invested, based on this actress's subtle performance. How the hell did they manage that? Seriously, her acting is so subtle but so cute and adorable, and they somehow got me to care. There's no initiation, no development before or after this, so this is a huge credit to this actress's performance.
I felt that! No wonder the actor wasn't happy. Jesus.
I've always hated this edit. So this woman gets an axe to the chest, but then it immediately cuts to Tommy coming down the stairs. It's edited as if it was him who threw it. Could be intentional due to the ending to imply Tommy's turn. Nah, it's just a poor editing choice. Very confusing.
But the suspense is actually built really well as they start to roam around the house. They finally learn how to build real suspense.
But Jesus Christ, the dog jumps out the window to evade Jason. I mean, points for originality. I've never seen that before.
But why would you look through his things, you nosy little brat?
Wait, so Jason moved the bodies but didn't bother to clean up the mess? How rude! He didn't move the body very far though. What was the point? Lazy tosser. But Rob dies as soon as he confronts Jason. So his entire character and story were all completely pointless. Why didn't he get an entirely built up confrontation with him like Tommy would get later?
Well, duh, he's killing you, obviously!
But look at this. It's like Jason took the time to move the body, but then decided he couldn't be bothered and just gave up. Yeah, this'll do. He did take the time to nail up another corpse, though. He uses his time efficiently. And how the hell hasn't he gone after Tommy once in this entire film? He's been alone this whole time. And why was he left alone in the first place? He's like 12 and a serial killer is on the loose.
Then she hammers the door shut. That'll stop him. Everyone knows Jason's weakness is nails. What a shock. But then he crashes through and tries to grab Tommy. Jesus! By the way, Feldman wasn't aware he was going to do this. This is his genuine reaction. But I thought Jason didn't kill kids. He really is a savage in this one.
I know this is supposed to be serious, but the sounds are just hilarious. Also, how has Jason lost his accuracy? In the last film, he had perfect aim, shooting people in the eye from miles away, which was only 24 hours ago. But here, he throws and misses from inside the same room. Did that axe just knock away his vision as well?
Where is he?
Right outside the door? Then she uses a TV on him. I mean, it's cool, but that won't stop him. It's Jason!
Also, looks like Tommy is smiling as she does it.
It is kind of funny, though, how Jason politely waits for her to escape before giving chase.
But sorry to reiterate, but this looks like a rip-off of Halloween again. Sneaking past the body, telling Tommy to run away to get help. But the Halloween sequels would steal this even more so later on, so I guess it's fair. I also find it hilarious when Jason almost considers going after Tommy instead of Trish. Duh, maybe. And then him sprinting looks ridiculous. No, Jason doesn't run.
But will you quit running upstairs in these films? It's getting old. Oh. Okay, I didn't see that coming.
She'd also clearly be dead, or at least severely injured with a broken back, but whatever. But Tommy has clearly lost his mind and starts cutting his hair. No, Tommy, don't do it!
Why the hell is he doing that? But then Trish returns to the house. Why? She believes Tommy ran out, so it's not to check that he's okay. And she even somehow senses that Jason's behind her. Is she Spider-Man now?
But she does manage to cut his hand in half, which looks awesome. But it's cool, he'll heal it in the next film, which will probably take place tomorrow.
But I can't praise Ted White enough. He is so good as Jason. He just holds nothing back as he tries to kill her.
Remember me, Jason? Jason, don't you remember? Remember, Jason.
Okay, despite how much I love this movie and think it's the best one, I never got this. Remember what? Is he trying to look like Jason as a kid?
I think that's the angle they were supposed to be going for here, but why would that make Jason stop? Making him remember what? When he was human? Surely that would just make him remember all the times he was abused and neglected and left to die. That'll calm him down. And why do they slow-mo his mask being cut off to reveal his face? We've already seen it!
Who cares? The makeup is incredible and his face does look terrifying. And Tommy killing Jason is the best kill in the movie. It's so violent. It's awesome. And it's great to see Jason get his comeuppance in this after Tommy's journey. And then Jason starts to show some more signs of life, so Tommy continues hacking away to make sure he really is dead. See? This kid is smart.
But why does Trish yell at him to stop? Stop murdering the serial killer who's trying to butcher us!
Regardless, this was the first time in history where a child was one of the sole survivors in a slasher movie. That's awesome!
But hey, Jason was killed by a child. How embarrassing. But at the end, Tommy looks scarier than Jason in this lighting. Jesus, I'd keep an eye on him. And then he turns serious to imply he's evil now for some reason. This made no sense long before Halloween did it.
I mean, it is a little creepy, and I think Tommy becoming the new Jason would have been quite interesting. I kind of wish they went with that.
I don't.
So, do you admit it's the best one now?
Nope.
Oh, come on!
You son of a bitch.
It's up there though, don't get me wrong. Corey Feldman and Crispin Glover are the highlight. Crispin has a small arc that works enough for you to root for him and become genuinely sad when he's off. Feldman is so likeable, I wish he actually was in more of the movie, and the Tommy character who'd grow in the next 2 films started off on the right foot. Trish is a brave and strong side character protecting Tommy. Ted is a douche nozzle, but an entertaining douche nozzle. The deaths are great, but this time actually mean a whole lot more because there's a whole lot more at stake. It's the first film so far where I actually cared for the story and the characters. It's also the first time we really had 2 stories going on at once. The normal teens who we know will get butchered, but then the other characters we really care about. It's a nice contrast, and the fact that Jason murders Tommy's mother, and Tommy then masquerades as Jason later, it's a cool idea where they actually strangely relate.
Personally, this is one of my favorite horror films ever. The acting is all around great, it's actually scary, and the characters were very good. That's a first. Ted White is the best Jason. I love the music just as much as the previous installments. It was the start of a great antagonist that would become awesome, and overall, it's freaking amazing. I will admit there are stupid plot points and moments in this one, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's an amazing slasher that needs to be seen.